ETAG is a preserved pork meat that is originally practiced and eaten. You may have heard and even confused with the words kiniing, kinuday, and even pinchang. I also believe that there are more local terms being used depending on which province in the Cordillera and even some other provinces from other regions where there is a huge number of igorot, gadang, and bukalot population such as Nueva Vizcaya. The term ETAG, kiniing, kinuday actually mean the same in general sense. They are all pork meat that are preserved, but the differences lie on the way on how they get preserved. First of all, the word ETAG, or some pronounce it as ETAG, leans more on coming from the Bontoc, Kankanaey, and even Kalinga and Apayao languages, and the same term for the Aplay, Maeng, and Bag-o dialects. Kiniing comes from the Kankanaey term, while kinuday is Iboloy. Pindang or pinchang is another Iboloy term from Bukod Benguet. Intapa and Hiniloyhay for Kalanguya, and sinapan is a term used in Apayao to pertain to the same food or practice. So how similar are all these terms, and are there any difference between them? These terms similarly pertain to pork meat preserved with salt. Rock salt originally. In Apayao, they used to have wild boar meat to preserve as well. The most common practice is sun drying. After being dried from any liquid and applied with rock salt thoroughly, the meat is left to dry under the sun on the roof of the house or hang somewhere else outside for a minimum of 7 days or more. The more days it stays under the sun means the stronger the taste it will offer. A yellowish, goldish, and reddish fine piece of naturally preserved meat. This is formerly ETAG is being known for. It's equivalent to kinuday in Iboloy and hiniloyhay in Kalanguya. Kiniing, however, is the Kankanaey, Aplay, Maeng, or Bag-o term known to be preserved through smoke rather than through the heat of the sun. They call it sinapan in Isnag, while in Kalanguya is intapa. In other Iboloy terms, they call it pindang or pinchang. It is from the fire or smoke that we see this meat turn black. For this process, there are 2 or 3 ways. One is the meat is laid beside the fire or burning coal. Another is putting or hanging the salted meat above the fireplace. These 2 processes I have just said are not smoked or heated all the times, as they stay idle for some time, like the nighttime when the family have to sleep and put off the fire in the fireplace. They resume to get smoke in the morning when the family has to cook their breakfast. The third process is deliberately smoked, as some folks purposely built fire structures just for the meat, like a zinc metal shape into a cone to create a single direction for the smoke coming from the fire that was set up beneath. This is the most black of all the preserved meat. Currently, this process is being used for mass production for kiniing in the market. These are the similarities and differences of this old valued igorot tradition. We can also say that the taste of the 2 processes are different but not totally far. The sun-dried tastes strong, sun-scented obviously, while the smoked is obviously smoky and raw tasting. I may have told you the terms used from the different sides of the region and out for this meat preservation, like a bontok, an isnag, a kalinga, or a kankanaey call it ETAG or itag, while kinuday for an iboloy. But these days, these words are no longer exclusive terms. We often hear an Iboloy use the terms ETAG and a Kankanaey using the term kinuday. They became regional terms that when you mention ETAG in any region in the Cordillera and even in Nueva Vizcaya and Quirino, they know it. The only difference, I think, is the process of sun-drying and smoking. And wait, before we go to the second igorot dish, some people ask, where can I find those ETAG with maggots? Alright, people may have seen this ETAG with maggots on TV or documentaries or vlogs on YouTube, and even I watch many of them, but I tell you, they are not answering or explaining the most important part of the culture. Ladies and gentlemen, growing maggots in ETAGs is not a part of the century-old meat preservation process of ETAG. Let's be clear. Look, I know you ask, what about the ones that are being practiced in some parts of Mountain Province? Yes, some folks, some parts, some people let their meat grow maggots in them, and that is their practice. But the general practice of ETAG And kiniing is so clear. It is simply salted, sun-dried, or smoked. You see, the main idea here is preservation. You gotta let the meat stand for at least a bit of time. You preserve the meat because when you let maggots grow in them, it's no longer preservation. It is decomposing. And yet the process is brave and very unique as it offers another exotic experience. And there's no harm in them, right?